All right, hello heisters. Welcome on in to the Thursday stream with me, Elisabeth. I am very excited to be here with you today with a special guest. I know, seeing in chat that all of you know what we are going to talk about. Abominable Sound, for example, says, Bane, I need the patch notes. You're not going to get them from Bane, but I have Andreas here with me to give you some patch notes. To be clear, we're going to go through the highlights. It's not going to be all of them because, as you may have seen from the press releases, the newsletters, it's going to be over 200 fixes. It's going to take us a while to get through all the 200 fixes if we were going to go through it in entirety, but we've picked the highlights, stuff that we think is cool, stuff that we've seen you talk about that we think you will want to know, and we're going to go through them. Any opening words, or should we just get right to it?
Let's go.
Let's go. All right. So we will hop over to this screen. All right, do you want to inch a bit closer so we can see everyone properly? All right. Feel free. You're more familiar with the patch than I am. You're the lead producer after all, so feel free to take the lead and I'll try to make sure the presentation follows.
Hello, Heisters. So, as most of you probably know by now, we are releasing a very big update soon. And today we're going to talk about the highlights of that and what it includes. Content, some changes, and other additions to the game. So, what we're going to talk about is new free content. We are also going to talk a little bit about skills, things we're adding there. Some changes to the challenge and progression, both challenges and infamy points. And then we're going to talk a little bit about some of the smaller additions that is coming to the patch. But let's start with the bigger stuff. So, we are releasing 2 free heists, 2 classics, Cook-Off and Turbid Station, formerly known as Murky Station in Payday 2. I think the interesting part with this is we refer to them as reimaginations. They are not remakes, so it's not a copy of the ones that you have experienced in Payday 2, but our goal has been to capture the essence of these heists. So the core gameplay is still there, the look and feel is still there, but we've made some changes for 2 primary reasons. So the first one is Payday 3 is a different game than Payday 2. It's different rules, different mechanics, different movement set, and so on. So we have made some changes to these heists to adapt to that and make sure that it actually works well and plays as well in Payday 3. The second part is we also want to enhance the experience of these heists. Again, not making too many changes because the purpose of them is to capture the overall look and feel and gameplay of the heists, right? But we've seen an opportunity to add a couple of things and adjust a couple of things that hopefully, from your point of view, improves the experience of these two levels. So let's get into it. First of all, we have Cook-Off. Why Cook-Off? Well, there is a lack of meth in Payday 3, right? And I don't think, what is Payday? Payday isn't Payday without an objective that says defend and cook meth. So here we are, Cook-Off. So again, in Cook-Off, just like before, you're cooking meth, but we've done some changes to the heist, which are the the footprint of the map, like the layout, is slightly larger. I don't think you're gonna feel a huge difference there, but we've also added a tactical scaffolding to the building. So on the back of the building, there is a scaffolding that also leads up to the roof. So it adds some verticality to the level that makes it more interesting in combat. There is also a garage area below the building where there is ingredients and so on, but it's also a small combat space that is an addition to the game, to the heist. We also have there is a cap to the amount of bags that you can cook, and it's 19. And to be fully transparent, this is tied to how the economy works in Payday 3. But I don't think you guys should worry about that. And the reason is, this level is tough. It's tough on overkill. Once you get past a certain amount of bags, and I think it's around 10, if I'm not mistaken, the endless assault starts. And then you have to cook 9 bags on overkill during endless assault, and it's very difficult. And I think the average time, if you're doing things right, the average time should be around 1 hour. So the challenge combined with the time it takes, we hope that brings enough challenge to you guys, so you'll keep playing this over and over. Then we've added another mechanic tied to the cooking of meth, which we call influence loot value. So, what does this mean? It means that you have to be more on your toes and more mindful when you're cooking meth. So, when you have a batch ready, you can leave that batch and let it cook slightly longer to increase the value of the meth. But if you have it there for too long, it's going to get burnt, and then you reduce the value of the meth. So there is some gameplay tied around that, and hopefully that brings another layer to the challenge as well. But also one of the intentions there is to sort of reinforce the communication as a team and make sure that you have an actual person dedicated to cooking meth, and hopefully somebody in your crew gets good at cooking meth. Cool, and here we're looking at a couple of screenshots just as a comparison between Payday 2 and Payday 3. And just from an internal point of view, it's been super fun to, try to translate this. And again, still trying to maintain the look and feel and the visual target of the level, but enhancing it with Unreal. So I think generally we managed to capture what it's all about, but as you can see, it has more of a moody feel to it, almost a sinister feel. It looks like it's spooky in a good way. And also more readable, as you can see on the lighting. We worked a lot more with the lighting for Cook-Off in Payday 3 compared to Payday 2. Then we have Turbid Station. And also, just tied to Cook-Off, as you probably know, Cook-Off is a loud-only heist. Turbid Station is a stealth-only heist. Turbid Station is interesting. And just like Cook-Off, it has a different narrative context and narrative framing. You're stealing something else, which is something that you guys are going to experience when you play it. You can move to the next slide.
Right.
So same thing here. It's a reimagination. We've had a target to capture the general look and feel and gameplay of the level while doing some changes. This has been super fun from the dev team's perspective as well, because there's a lot of interiors and water and reflections and stuff like that. It sticks out from the rest of the things that we've done. So it has been super fun to work on for sure. So a couple of changes here. For those of you who have played Murky Station a lot, in Payday 3, you can access the train cart roofs, meaning you can jump down on the train cart roofs. And as you can see on the screenshot here, there is a couple of planks on top of that roof that leads to the next train. So that also adds more verticality from a traversal point of view. So you can now move around the map on top of the train carts to get a better overview of the heist itself. And then, of course, since this is a very stealth-focused heist, and Payday 3 has sliding and vaulting and so on, that adds to the experience as well. So you can slide beneath the train carts, for example, which is interesting in stealth. We can move on.
All right.
Couple of screenshots here as well. I think the main thing here as well is the lighting. Like the environment is a lot more readable, which is good especially in a stealth-oriented level. So it's easier to spot where you're supposed to go, where you have threats, and generally just navigate through the map. I think the team has done a fantastic job here as well to create something that feels very vibrant and alive, even though the map is stealth only. All right, and then we're also adding 2 new cosmetics. So a mask, both of these, and a weapon. Both of these can be bought by C-Stacks at a fairly low price. I believe the mask is set at 10 C-Stacks, and the compact preset is set at 25. The mask, by the way, you can see the straps below the teeth there. It's physics-based, so it's going to move around as you run around in these new heists. Also, finally, this is something that we've talked about for quite some time. We are adding a new skill line to the game called Transporter. Many people refer PAYDAY to a loot bag simulator, so we thought, let's add a supporting feature to that. This has been one of the skills here, where you can carry 2 bags, has been requested from you guys for a very, very long time. So just like the name says, this skill line is centered around bags and carrying. So you can carry up to 2 bags. You can throw them further. You can also increase the amount of deployable bags you have in your loadout. And then it has some interesting synergies with the buff system as well. I also think it has this skill line. It has a strong synergy with these levels as well. I mean, in Cook-Off, you can have 19 bags, right? So this definitely helps. But even for a heist that is very stealth-oriented and you want to move quickly to secure your bags, this is very helpful. So, animation update. There are 2 different things that we've done here. The first one, and to be honest, this is, for me personally, this is one of my favorite parts of this update. So we're adding first-person animation interactions. This doesn't cover every single interaction in the game, but it does cover the ones that we feel are used very frequently and are very impactful. So the purpose of this is to essentially just increase immersion, but it's also a nice way for us to make the game feel more modernized and separate it from PAYDAY 2 from a visual standpoint. Our goal is to keep updating the first-person interaction animations. So, like I said, all of them aren't covered yet, but this is sort of like a maintenance thing for us, where when we have time, we're gonna keep doing this. And based on your feedback, like if there are any particular interactions where you would really like to see animations on, please let us know. But for me, I've been playing with these animations now for a while, and as soon as I go back to the live game, it feels super weird. So it's hopefully something that you guys are gonna like. We've also added weapon inspect. So when you start a heist, you can use the communication wheel to inspect your weapons. On the right hand side, you can see that the heister is inspecting their gloves. That is something that you do if you are in casing mode and you inspect. You're gonna look at your gloves, and if you have your mask on, you're gonna inspect your weapon. Cool. Challenge system.
It's a big one.
This is a big one, yeah. The first part tied to this is, and before I go into this, we've talked about this in the past, but before I go into this, this is the first step for us to improve the challenge system. So one thing that we wanted to do, that we've gotten feedback on as well, is it's hard to sort of decide and understand what challenges you're supposed to do. And I think there's a lot that we can do here that we haven't done yet, and it's something that we are looking into. But the first thing we wanted to do was to give players recommended challenges. So based on how you have progressed so far with your challenges, you are going to get recommendations. Where one part is you're getting 3 recommendations in the main menu on general challenges. That could be anything essentially. And then you're also getting recommendations per heist. So when you're in the heist selection menu and you're hovering above heists, you're going to get 3 recommended challenges, so that you get a stronger incentive to play certain things and work towards your personal goals. And the second thing tied to progression and challenges in general is infamy points. So this is something that we've gotten a lot of feedback on very early. So, can you go back?
Yeah.
Okay, we might, I think we're missing one slide, but let me cover that anyway. So what there we go.
It was later.
Yeah, okay. I want to cover this part first, because I think it's important.
Yep.
So you are going to get infamy points by just completing whatever level you want to play. Challenges are not gone, but if you want to grind one particular level over and over and over again, you can do that. And there are essentially 3 things that gives you infamy points. Either just by completing the heist, however you like. The second part is completing it without raising the alarm, aka in stealth. And the third one is by securing all bags. So hopefully, for those of you who enjoy the challenge system, continue to chase your challenges. For those of you who are less interested in them, and sometimes you just want to play more casually, this should be helpful. So again, thanks a lot for the feedback around this. We've taken it very seriously, and like I said, we still like the idea of the challenge system. We just think that there are ways where we can improve how we present it to the players and how we categorize it and so on. So you can expect more improvements on that front in the future. So now we can go back to this one. We're also introducing renown levels. This is for the heisters there who have reached the level cap. So you will be able to gain renown levels. What's going to happen then? One thing is you're going to get a small icon that you can brag with next to your level. And you're also going to get a random cosmetic reward per renown. As you can see, there are more than 1,000 renown levels. We do not have 1,000 different cosmetic items that we're giving out, but our goal is to increase the amount of cosmetic items as we move forward, so it scales well. I think now for this update, it's going to be around 15-20 items, and you get a random drop each time you level up. And those are consumables. So once you've used them on something, it's worth getting it again if you want to use it on a different item. So that is hopefully something that creates also an incentive to keep playing if you have reached the level cap already. Cool. Some other changes, like Elisabeth said, we are going to share the full patch notes once the update is live. It's more than 200 fixes and improvements combined, so it's quite a lot. Here are a couple of things. We have added a lobby chat. This is for PC only for now. We are looking into the possibility of doing that for console, so I just want to acknowledge that we have not forgotten about you. And to be fully transparent, the reason is not there now on console is we do have a chat functional already on PC, and it's from a technical standpoint, it's more complex to do it on console. So we're starting with PC for now. We've done some rebalancing on skills. I don't have any highlights here on top of my head, but that's definitely going to be a part of the patch notes. It's based on feedback from you guys, but also internal testing. Then we've also heard that crew AI, they die way too fast. So we have increased their health by 300%. So hopefully that, it does make them more useful, especially on the higher difficulties where they in the live version tend to get down very quickly. Another small thing, but has been a moment of frustration, is not having the possibility to mute the heist brief VO. So when you enter the heist selection screen, you will be able to mute the people talking way too much. I think that's it.
I think so. Yep, that's the last slide.
So again, there's a patch note coming out that is way more detailed than what I went through. But overall, it's a big update. It's a very big update. And again, I think there is a really strong synergy between a couple of things that we're doing here. It's been super fun to create the legacy heist and bringing them into Payday 3. So can't wait to get your feedback on it.
A lot of people are asking when. Do we want to reiterate end of November?
So we've said end of November, and that's the that's what I'm gonna stick to now. So you guys can expect this update to drop this month. Let's see. I haven't been able to read through the chat, but I'll see if we have any. Loud stealth filter. It's yes. It's not in this update, but it's in our backlog. So again, it's on the table. It's something that we want to do. We really understand the need for it and the purpose of it. I mean, it's a game where you have two different playstyles and you want to coordinate with your team on what you're supposed to do, right? So it's something that is in the backlog. When do we get the full patch notes? If I'm not mistaken, that comes out at the same time as we are releasing the patch.
Yep, same day.
Yes. Please tell me controller improvements will be coming soon. We've not made them for this update, but that is also on the agenda. And when I'm saying it's on the agenda, I can't say when, but it's something that it's something that we want to work on. And there's general improvements that we want to do that sound more options in general for controllers. So we've seen a lot of feedback that the controller feel and the options that you have isn't what you guys expect, and you want more. So we're taking that seriously, of course. Are we getting more trophies achievements? Not for this update, but we are adding new challenges and also pre-planning assets to both Cook-Off and Murky Station. Reading through chat.
I see one person on YouTube at least is asking if we'll share the presentation. I mean, that's probably something we can post afterwards. We can share with the partners as well so they can make content with it.
Yeah.
So yeah, you'll be able to see the full presentation.
Also, something that I want to mention tied to Cook-Off and Murky Station, since they are reimaginations of the Payday 2 heists, they are. It's funny because they are. It's sort of the same location, the same setup, but it's a different location. It takes place in New York now.
Yep.
So Cook-Off, as an example, it happens to be the same house in the woods, but it's just in New York. But I assume that that's just how all the meth labs looks like in US. That's why we're doing it that way.
But isn't it? Do you not have those companies that let you just buy those pre-built houses? Maybe they bought it from the same company and set up their meth house.
Yeah,
meth
exactly.
labs for you.
Exactly. But there is also some more connections to Payday 2. So, for example, when Shade is reading through the ingredients, she's actually reading through Bane's old notes, and that's something that the VO will reflect. So there's definitely a wink to the old classics from that perspective as well.
And speaking of, will Shade talk us through the heist or Lock?
Shade will do it. So Lock is the contact, meaning he gives you the brief. And we definitely have an interest of continuing to work with Locke and Ian Russell. But from an operator point of view, it's Shade. And I mean, Locke is he got injured in the assassination attempts, right? Hence the scar that you've seen. So he's not ready to take that role for the gang yet. He's still recovering. Let's see. Mouse support on console. It's also something that is on the table. We are aware of the request. And again, I know you guys want commitment as well, but I'm not ready to share that yet. What I can share is, yes, this is something that we've seen that you guys care about, and it's something that we want to resolve. But I can't commit to when it's happening yet. If there is some things that we are seeing as no, we don't want to do this, then I'll highlight that as well. When can we name loadouts? That's also one of the things that we are looking at. It's not in this update, but it's also on the table. Are you looking into button remapping? Yeah, it's also on the table.
Gold bar is showing up.
Gold bar show. I mean, I think gold is a very natural fit for the game. It would surprise me if the gang in Payday 3 never stole any gold. So at some point, we have talked about it, and we've talked about the context of it, but I'm not going to share that now. Quick play, that is also on the table, and actually quick play was, I believe we even had quick play in the beta during summer, but then we found a bunch of critical issues tied to it, so we decided to remove it for launch. But that doesn't mean that we've scrapped it. It's just that we need to sort out a couple of issues to make sure it works the way it's supposed to work.
Offline mode, do you want to touch on that again?
Yeah, so offline mode still on the table, or is there a reason this has not been talked about at all? I might disappoint you, but it is on the table. It's something that is being discussed. There's a lot of things tied to online only and matchmaking that we are talking about right now, and we mentioned in an earlier stream that offline mode is on the table, and it still is. I just can't confirm anything else at this point. And on the table does not mean no. It means that either it's something that we're planning or it's under consideration. if we decide to absolutely don't do anything, we will let you guys know.
Unreal Engine 5?
Unreal Engine 5 still on the table. Yeah, Unreal Engine 5 is, as we've communicated in the past, it's a part of the year one plan. So that update will happen in the first coming year. We haven't communicated an exact date for it yet, but it's a part of the coming year. Yeah. There's a lot of questions about collabs. I think I mentioned this a couple of times before, but collaborations and crossovers, we believe it's a big part of the Payday franchise, and Payday 2 was sort of like a test bed for that. We've done a lot of different things. Some that has been appreciated, some that hasn't. The important thing for us moving forward is that, at least for the the first coming years, where the tone of the game right now is more grounded than what you have in Payday 2. So if we do collabs, we need to make sure it sort of fits that tone, and it feels like a natural fit for the game. I don't think that limits us in what we can or want to do. It's just that it gives us more direction in terms of what we should do, and I think we have a better idea today than what we had a couple of years ago of what you guys have appreciated from a collab perspective as well. So I think you can expect a couple of things in the future, but nothing that we already talked about yet.
What about multiple day heists?
Nothing that we have planned right now, and it's not on the table, to be honest. But we are absolutely open to that feedback, but we haven't planned any multi-day heists right now. Why are there no female police? Good question. Good question. How should I answer that?
Yeah, that's a good question. Maybe we should do something about that.
Yeah.
Maybe we should.
Maybe we should do something about female enemies. Maybe we have talked about it too.
Maybe we have.
Let's see what else. Dead Zone patch when? Not a confirmed date, but it's something that is in our backlog of things that we want to do. We agree that, and also based on your guys' feedback, that there are some big improvements that we can do to the controller options and controller feel. So it's definitely something that we are going to work on.
Seeing weapon stat numbers on YouTube.
Sorry, what was that?
Weapon stat numbers.
Weapon stat numbers. I can't say anything there yet. We know it's a part of the feedback that you guys have given. It's one of the things on the feature upvote site that many of you have upvoted. So it's something that is being talked about for sure.
Oh, that's a good one too.
Do you only get extra XP for collecting all bags, or is each bag worth XP? I'm not entirely sure. I think it's all the bags. I think it's those 3 criteria. So complete the heist, complete it without raising the alarm, meaning stealth, and securing all bags. Yeah, it's stated pretty clearly here. So it's all bags. There's a lot of question. I'm seeing a lot of paid DLC when. We haven't announced an exact date for the first DLC.
I mean, we said Q4, so.
Yeah, I believe we said at least like winter.
Yeah.
So fairly soon. Will paid heists be new or remakes? Paid heists will not be remakes. They will be new Payday 3 heists. And yeah, that's like a follow-up to that question is also when we drop this update, meaning the legacy update, you're gonna see a new tab in the heist selection menu that is called Legacy Heists. Because these heists they are not tied to the overall Payday 3 narrative arc. They are sort of like one-offs. So it's a way for us to separate those from the overall narrative that you're going to continue to experience for the coming year. And it's just a nice way to do that sort of separation, and also make sure that it's easy to find what you're looking for in the heist selection menu. So since they are one-offs, they're also, even if they have a narrative context and there's a reason why you're there, they're more about, they're just juicy heists. So they're packaged in a more casual way than the bigger Payday 3 heist beats that we're doing. Will there be more heists from Payday 2? We want to hear your feedback. This is, we would like to. I think this is a good start. And these 2 heists were a good start for us as well. I think there are some heists that are even more popular than this. Like, I'm seeing a lot of questions around Shadow Raid, for example. Shadow Raid is it's loved by a lot of people, including ourselves. It's more complex to reimagine that heist. So I think from that perspective, if we go down that route, we also want to make sure that we have more meat on the bones, and we've taken on the challenge of creating these reimaginations, and we're learning from it. So for Shadow Raid, as an example, again, that would have been too risky to do as a first reimagination. But who knows? Maybe later down the line.
And on the topic of legacy heists, it's disappeared for me now, but someone asked, will they have their own cinematics?
They will not have the story cinematics that you have for the base game heists. And again, the reason for that is because there is no narrative cohesion between the legacy heists, meaning Cook-Off and Turbid Station, while in the base game there is a narrative storyline, right? So you have an intro and outro that also leads to the next heist. So there's a sequence to it that you're not seeing in the reimaginations. And like, one of the reasons for that as well is because if we're doing more legacy heists, we want to have more flexibility. If we would tie all of them into a narrative arc, then we would add restrictions to which ones we can do and the narrative context of those heists. And again, they are more like one-offs. So the ones we're doing, we should do them because they're popular and we want to do them, not necessarily because they have to follow a specific storyline.
I think people are ready for new characters already. I'm seeing a lot of ask questions about when's the next character joining.
Yeah. We'll see. What I can say is we have internally confirmed who the next character is.
That is true.
That is very true. Let's see.
That was a good one in the first time chat.
Just as a quality of life detail, can you make it so that if I hide story videos, it stays hidden even after I restart the game? Yes, we are going to fix that. It's not in this update, but holy shit, that's frustrating. We'll sort that out. Looking through questions.
A lot of people trying to guess our next character.
Yeah, who
They
would
know,
you
they know.
who would you want to see? I mean, an original or an old one returning?
I'm seeing a lot of Houstons.
Chicken Man, Houston, Dragon, Sydney, Cindy, Dragon, Giro, Houston, Jimmy.
A lot of jackets. There we go, some clovers. You know I like those clovers.
Yeah.
Jimmy's. You want Houston or else we riot. Sangres as well, Dragon. There's so many. So much love for the existing characters. I don't see anyone saying new characters though. Oh, there we go. Mio's watching as well, saying Sangres. Mio wants his main back.
Scrolling through the chat. Yeah, there's a lot of jacket. Houston, Clover, Sydney.
Yep.
Let's see.
Got some scar faces too on the YouTube side. I see people are still asking when the update is coming. What we've said is by the end of this month. So not that many days left of the month now.
Let's see. Any updates on heisters and equipment being missing? We're working on it. I don't have an ETA for that fix. What we do know is that it's very likely tied to the back end, meaning we don't have to patch the game in order to fix that. But as soon as we've sorted that out, we'll let you know. But it's being worked on actively.
I see. Is AI getting better to give solo lad overkill a chance? I guess we'll find the slide again.
Yeah, so we're looking at crew AI feedback in general, and there's a bunch of things that we want to do long term. But for now, what we've done to increase their value and support, especially on higher difficulties, is increasing their health by 300%. So you will definitely get more help from them, especially on higher difficulties where they have a tendency to go down pretty quickly. Let's see. Seeing a couple of questions, I covered this earlier, tied to cook-off and if it's infinite or not. No, it's not. It has a cap of 19 bags, but what I mentioned to the others was the heist is difficult, especially on overkill, and especially when you get past, I think the number is 10 bags, because then the endless assault kicks in. So you have to cook an additional 9 bags during that phase. And it's very, very hectic. It's tough. It's really tough. And I think it takes... It depends on how efficient you are, obviously. But generally, like 50 minutes to an hour to cook those 19 bags. And doing that on overkill with the endless assault. Yeah, again, it's a big challenge. Let's see. There's a lot of questions about the next character. That's exciting, though.
Yeah. Random rewards after heists, maybe? I guess it's a favors, right?
Yeah, you're getting favors. I don't know. It's a design question that I'm not I'm not comfortable to answer right now. Let's see. Can we expect more legacy heists in the future? Maybe. We want to get your feedback on the ones that we are putting out now. We want to understand if you believe that we've created reimaginations and managed to sort of maintain the essence of the original ones. And if there's any feedback where you believe we've done some bad choices or improvements, we want to know that as well. And just generally, if you like the idea of having legacy heists returning in Payday 3. But it's definitely a possibility.
There was one further down. So do we get XP on heist completion or just infamy points? I mean, infamy points is XP, isn't it?
No, XP is tied to your weapons and skills.
Yeah, okay,
but you're already getting XP when you're playing heists. So the what the update does is you're getting infamy points by completing the heist, either by completing it or by completing it in stealth or securing all bags.
And it's the infamy points that level you up.
Yes,
so
correct.
Those are the ones you care about for leveling up.
Yes, that is correct.
Oh yeah.
Let's see. Are there new enemies? Not in this update. It's not. But I mean, adding new enemies is absolutely a very natural and obvious way to move the game forward. So you can expect new enemies in the future. Absolutely.
Yep.
Will unready option be available? Not in this update, but it's one of the things that we want to prioritize for future quality of life updates, along with controller improvements and some of the other things that you guys have been talking about in the community. So I'm gonna do the uncomfortable thing now and say that I have to leave.
I think we covered most questions, though. So I think.
Yeah, I hope so. And again, if there are any more questions, reach out on social media. I am available from time to time on Twitter. Haven't been super active in the past couple of weeks, given that we have been extremely busy. But just to wrap things up on my end, super excited to launch this update. Again, it's a big one. It includes a lot of different things, a lot of content, 200 fixes, quality of life stuff, heists, skill lines, a lot. We can't wait to see what you think of this. It's been a very rocky launch, and we again truly apologize for that. Now we're adding more things and we're trying to improve parts of the game, and hopefully it's something that you guys will enjoy, and hopefully you will see that the game is moving in the right direction. We are working hard on turning things around, and you can expect a lot more stuff and improvements coming in the future as well. So even if this is the first big update, it's definitely not the last one. We're not stopping here. Thanks a lot for continuing to support us, and thank you for heisting.
And thank you for joining me today and
helping
me run through the patch notes.
Thank you. All right. Have a great day, everybody. Bye.
Say goodbye to Andreas. Oh, there you go. All right. But you're still stuck here with me for another 10 minutes or so. I am not in a rush to leave quite yet. So if you have any questions that I can answer, or potentially if you just came in, I could also reiterate some of Andreas's answers if you would like so. And yes, PD Lucky, you're stuck with me. Oh no. Oh no, Hatted Cyclops seems to have just come in with what did I miss? All right, shall we speedrun through the patch notes? All right, let's do this. All right. Well, I mean, again, like I'm gonna reiterate that this is not the complete patch notes, because what we have mentioned, for example, is that there's gonna be over 200 bug fixes in here. We're not gonna have time to go through all of them ahead of time, but we are here with some highlights. And of course, you know, a big highlight is new free content. And I see people are asking, what's soda blend? I presume you mean brand. Do I like the most? Which is a good question. I drink the most Coke Zero, but if what I like the most, I'm very excited for it now being Christmas season, so I can get Norwegian julebrus. If you know, you know. So that's probably one of my favorites. But yeah, we get 2 free heights in the next update, and I'm gonna reiterate again, release for this by the end of November. Not that many days left of November, so you know it's coming soon. Horu's asking, is there any info on the average IP per heist completion yet? Not yet. It will vary per heist. I don't know if we have calculated an average even. We probably have. Unibres. It's a Christmas soda is what it translates to. But yeah, we're bringing back Cook-Off. I'm going to keep trying to speedrun this. This is probably the slide you care the most about for Cook-Off. The map's larger. You have a scaffolding at the back of the house, allowing you to go up on the roof. I know some people asked about the zip line before. But you have the scaffolding now to help you move around. You can go into the garage now, next to the basement. There's a bag cap of 19 bags. But you can also influence the loot value by letting the meth cook for longer, but make sure it's not long enough so it burns. Alex bro, oh, mind blown, visste ikke det var norsk. Hilse fra Bergen. Hilser tilbake. Hyggelig. Will climbing through windows in stealth ever be added? Good question. Not really up to me right now. The limitation is that when you're not wearing your mask, you cannot jump. And is also you cannot mantle or climb through windows. Let's see. I'm gonna go quickly over to Turbid Station, which is what you may already know as Murky Station. Turbid is a synonym, but we're not dealing with murky water anymore, so it has been renamed. You can now go on the train cart roofs, which I was playing this earlier, and this makes it a lot easier to move around. It's very fun to actually be able to apply the Payday 3 stealth mechanics as well for this heist. What else? We got a new mask. We got a new preset weapon, both available to purchase for C-Stacks in the store. The new skill line here for Transporter. You can see the main skill on the left there, but also the other ones. Definitely would recommend putting at least a couple of these into your builds, if not the whole thing. You saw these on Tuesday. We have animations coming in specifically for first-person animations. You can see your character interact more. And I mean, we haven't really talked about this before, but there's way more than what we've already shown coming as well. So there's going to be animations you haven't seen coming in the update. You can inspect your weapons as well. If your character isn't holding a weapon, they will inspect their mask. Mask. God, what is the word? Gloves. That's what I'm looking for. Jesus. We're going to add recommended challenges now. You will see a section on them right on your main menu, but there will also be a different set of recommended challenges when you look at each heist. You will now be able to get infamy points whenever you complete heists. We know this is a very, very big topic that people have talked about. And yes, gloves is just hand mask. You're absolutely right. But yes, as long as you complete the heist successfully, you will get IP points, infamy points. If you complete the heist entirely without raising the alarm, or, you know, as we would call it in stealth, you will get more points. And if you can also complete it by securing all the bags, that will also be a point bonus. For this one, this is the Renown, which is what happens when you reach max level. Why exactly 1188? I don't know. But there's a lot of them. And you can get random rewards for each level. And as Andreas mentioned, these are consumable, so there are still an incentive to keep earning them, even if you might want to have duplicates and use them. You can add Small Dallas later. I do not believe Small Dallas is currently in our roadmap. If you want to see Small Dallas in our roadmap, you should let us know you want to see Small Dallas. But yeah, and then other changes, some worth mentioning. Lobby chat has been a huge one. PC is going to have it as of this next update. As Andreas mentioned, we're still working on bringing it to consoles. It's a bit more complicated, and we didn't want to delay it for PC until they're all ready. So PC gets it now. but it's also coming for consoles later on without me being able to say when, unfortunately. But it's coming. We rebalanced some skills. I know a lot of people have complained bots go down too easily, especially in Overkill, so we're boosting their health. And you can also now mute the heist brief VO, so when you sit there and wait for the matchmaker or something, you don't need to keep listening to the contact telling you about the heist you're loading into. And that is, that's the highlights. Again, this is not the entire thing. We will release the full patch notes along with the update, so you will get those then. But this is the main thing. Any hints on the new character's gender? That is for me to know and for you to guess. Do Brownisil is asking what would happen if you would tell us something you aren't supposed to tell us. Well, depending on the severity of it, it could range from a slap on the wrist to me probably being fired. So, I will try to make sure that I'm towards the slap on the wrist side of things. Right, we still have 4 minutes. Let's see. Have I potentially missed any questions? Anything we haven't talked about? NDAs are just suggestions. They are most definitely not, Leon. I'm pretty sure the entire definition of an NDA is that they are in fact not a suggestion. Does it rhyme with Schlover? God, that sounds so wrong. It sounds like I'm about to say schlong, but then I say the name of a character instead. It's... why don't consoles have game chat? So that is something that Andreas touched upon before. Long technical reason goes here. It's more complicated simply than it is to her PC, because PC already has chat, so it was easier for us to also make sure that chat was available in the lobby, whereas we still need to build that basically for consoles. Let's see. Can you tell them to make a casino heist? I will tell them to make a casino heist. Jakub is asking, will we get original Vlad's voice actor? It already is the original Vlad's voice actor, but I have seen a lot of people not recognize him. So I don't know if he maybe just sounds different, decided to put a different energy into Vlad now that it's 10 years since the main game, but it is the same voice actor. Can we get a cat as a sticker, please? I could support a cat for a sticker. That could be fun. Nick is asking, can bots revive each other now? No, they cannot. And that is also an intentional choice, at least for now. But we have increased the health, so let us know what you think after they have more of a health pool, and we'll probably make further tweaks to them down the line if this still doesn't quite work as we want it to. I have a question. If you could add heists that you can change the time of day, that's an interesting one. Maybe that's something we'll end up doing down the line. Thanks for returning the Butcher, an awesome tribute. Yeah, it was a very sad day when we learned that the original actor for the Butcher, I forget her name, Mira something. Mira Furlong, that's it. I remember the first name, but not the last name. But yeah, that was a very sad day. So I'm glad we were able to honor her memory. Spring is asking, can we have more charms animal themed? If it's up to me, yes. Absolutely. All right, we have 1 more minute, and then at 6 p.m., Dalton is saying, pretty sad you can't give us an exact date of release. I totally understand that. There are unfortunately a lot of downsides with giving you an exact date. We need to pass console certification now, which makes it hard for us to know the exact date ahead of time as well. Because we can't know for sure when exactly they're going to approve us or potentially even, deny us. And now we need to remake a new build and send that in again. So it's just easier for us to keep it vague. Beaver Charm when? All right, it's almost 6 p.m., so I think I'm going to call it here. But thank you all so much for tuning in. I hope you really enjoyed Andreas's run-through of all the patch notes. We will make sure that these become available afterwards as well. I'm not exactly sure how, but we'll figure something out so you can read them afterwards. And I'm sure people have taken a lot of screenshots until we get around to posting them as well. But yeah, thank you all so much for watching, and we will be back with you all next week. All right, see you then. Goodbye. Oh, that's the wrong one. Nope.